secured. Secured. Who wouldn't want that? We all long being secured in this world full of unexpected twists and events. Well, in response to your financial concerns, this is part 2 of our video series, The Redemption. If you are new to this channel, kindly subscribe and share this video with your friends who might find it useful. By doing so, you'll help us keep working toward our goals of providing our viewers with accessible knowledge.
Welcome to Debt Relief and Credit Repair channel. Your concerns are our answers. The information presented in this video and channel is for informational purposes only. No professional, accounting, financial, investment, or legal advice is given or implied by the channel or moderators.
To start our journey, let us become spiders. Let's spin, spin, spin. And voila! As we work diligently and exert greater effort in every step, we can create a bigger web every now and then. Who knows? We are in for a bigger catch as we build our matrix. Matrix. Let us take a look back in our history to give us a glimpse why we must be concerned with being a secured party creditor. To make this easier, let me tell you the lessons we can learn from the movie The Wizard of Oz. Don't worry if you haven't seen the movie, this video will help you grasp the big picture. In 1939, Metro Goldwyn Mayer created The Wizard of Oz as a film picture. In the autumn of that year, the Wall Street crash of 1929, commonly referred to as the Great Crash, was a significant American stock market crash. It was unable to eliminate low salaries, debt growth, the suffering agriculture industry, and an excess of huge bank loans. Thus, The Wizard of Oz is not merely a children's movie. Despite how it is currently seen, it has evolved into a historical national landmark that is rerun on television every year, just for the youngsters. Most people overlook the symbolism in the film, which can be found in practically every character. Let's begin by knowing the story's initial setting, which is Kansas, the country's geographical center and a symbol for the heartland of America. The coming tornado is all about the swirling turmoil that followed the stock market crash, the country's gold being stolen, the US filing for bankruptcy, and the Great Depression. The tornado lifts Dorothy and her dog Toto above Kansas, flat terrain and into a brand new, created dimension. Being away from home had a devastating effect on Dorothy. After the bankruptcy, Kansas was renamed KS, a fictitious corporate location for the bankrupt US, a brand new federal territory, and a section of the federal zone. Dorothy and Toto were in the state, which suggests they were for tax jurisdictional reasons in the District of Columbia, which is also known as the United States. Kansas is not included in the states, but KS is. On her adventure to this strange place, Dorothy encounters three peculiar characters, each of whom has a different issue or aspect as depicted on the screen, but whose true identity has been discovered. The Scarecrow, who symbolized the legal strawman that had been formed as an artificial component of the previous American sovereigns, was one of the first characters Dorothy encountered. Being aware of the strawman's concepts is pretty powerful. All political and legal mysteries, complexities, and models are clarified or understood once one learns that his strawman exists. And once one acquires legal title and control over his strawman, he becomes the authorized representative of the strawman to accept and discharge all commercial affairs, as in Oz, the new commercial world, because the strawman has no brains and no hands. Witty, isn't it? The Tin Man is the next to show up. There is no doubt that the letters TIN stands for Taxpayer Identification Number. This man is made of hollow metal and is referred to as a vessel or vehicle. The Tin Man lacks heart, much as the Scarecrow, who is the strawman. Thus, they are both artificial persons. Natural people are made by God or the forces of nature, whereas artificial people are made by human laws for societal or governmental goals. The third character that Dorothy met was the Cowardly Lion, who soon joins them together with the Scarecrow and Tin Man, unexpectedly cowardly for the King of Beasts as they are known. It looks to be a representation of the formerly fearless American people who had lost the confidence to oppose the US bankruptcy and inform its creditors that they were not the chattel that could be used as a security for the allegedly owing money. A fact, dealing with the IRS usually makes most of us feel frightened, but it is largely because of the heartless, stupid conduct of a company that carefully adheres to the rules of commerce. Recall that Dorothy travels with her dog Toto, the Scarecrow, who represents a strawman or debtor, the Tin Man, who represents the heartless and strict law of commerce, and the Cowardly Lion. They arrive at Oz and discovered that they needed to visit the wizard, who could be found if you followed the yellow brick road. Finding the thief who stole American stolen gold is as simple as following the trail left by the gold. It's crucial to keep in mind that the wizard was originally portrayed in the film as a traveling mystic named for Professor Marvel, who Dorothy first met when she fled with Toto. Before the banksters looted America, they had already disempowered the monarchies of Europe and looted their kingdoms. The professor's shingle claimed that he was acclaimed by the crowned heads of Europe, past, present, and future. That's quite a claim, to include the future, but seems well justified in that the wizard is still acclaimed by the crowned heads of Europe. The wizard then started lecturing Dorothy about the priests of Isis and Osiris, and the era of the Egyptians' pharaohs, while perched on a perch above the door of his wagon and holding a human skull. The Emerald City was right there as Dorothy and her new friends emerged from the jungle, and they were thrilled to see it. The Wicked Witch of the West then appeared, frantically seeking Dorothy's ruby sleepers since she knew that they contained extraordinary powers. It's important to note that the sleepers were silver rather than red in the first edition of The Wonderful Wizard of Oz, which was released in 90s to 1939 years earlier. The sleepers were originally silver in the movie's first edit, but they were changed to red to make it more colorful. The Wicked Witch of the West knew she had to act quickly before Dorothy and others entered the gates of Emerald City because she was yearning for the ruby sleepers that Dorothy was wearing. But what made Dorothy's sleepers so unique? What are the meaning of her sleepers? As blood, or the color of flesh and blood, is red. It stands to reason that Dorothy's ruby sleepers, which were the same color as blood and thus symbolize a life, breathing man or a woman, a non corporation, a genuine person, were red. Her sleepers represented private as opposed to public because of this. America still possessed all of its gold and silver at the time the book was written. The majority of America's gold was gathered between 1916 and 1933 by the Federal Reserve Banks, which were privately owned, and transported to the owners of the Fed in England and Germany. Due to the fact that the Federal Reserve notes could only be redeemed in gold, and using them resulted in an interest charge that could only be paid in gold. This was the case. The American people were deceived into exchange their gold for paper with green ink that was worthless. Our former form of money, United States notes, had no such interest restrictions. Nevertheless, the Federal Reserve notes came with a deal requiring them. Coming back to the movie, the Wicked Witch desired the lifeblood of the living people, not simply their strawman, the blood in the veins of the American people, as opposed to citizens of the United States, where the blue and black writing on a birth certificate is the corporate blood, is presumably symbolized by the ruby sleepers. How successful is the Wicked Witch tactic? What does it symbolize, and what is the advantage of understanding what it means? The following video in the series will provide the answers to this question. The objective is to get back whatever was taken from you. Redeem yourself from a life of false assumptions. This video series will provide you with information and confidence you need to advance from the rank of debtor slave to the powerful position of secured party creditor. To ensure that you don't miss any of the episode of this video series, The Redemption, please like this video, subscribe to our channel, and click the notification bell. Stay tuned.